Hey everybody, Austin here again with another Let's Play video. Today, as you can see, it's going to be Altered Beast for the Sega Genesis. Yeah, this is a port of an arcade game by Sega. I have previously done a Let's Play of Altered Beast, but only the Sega Master System version. This is the first time I'll be playing the Sega Genesis version on this channel, I think. And yeah, I've actually been practicing this game for the last couple of days, and I think we should be able to get through this game without any trouble. And we might even be able to play some of the successive loops. What I mean by loops is when you beat the game will throw you back into the game, albeit on the next difficulty level up. So, by holding B and pressing start in the title screen, you can go to the options menu, and you can actually start at any level you want, but we're just going to start on level 1. And you can also adjust your power level, which is your life bar, as well as your player stock. We're going to be playing on default settings, but when you beat the game, it'll go on to hard mode, and then after hard mode, if you beat it there, it'll go on to hardest, and I don't know if it actually goes any higher than hardest. But we're going to be playing on stock settings on normal mode, and if we beat it, we'll go ahead and play again, and if we beat it then, we'll go ahead and play it again, potentially up to 3 times. Or just once. Maybe I won't succeed on the first try, and we'll fail miserably, and this will be a 10-minute long Let's Play. So, Altered Beast is not a very complex game. It's sort of the evolution of the I don't even know what you would call the genre. Games like, you know, Black Belt on the Master System, Kung Fu on the NES, Kung Fu Master in the arcade, Vigilante by IRM. Altered Beast sort of plays similarly to those games. Although, it's a little bit slower and a little more methodical than some of those games. Enemies don't come at you nearly as quickly. And you've also got this power-up gimmick, where you've got these Cerberus beasts that are constantly jumping at you. And the blue ones, like you see right here, drop power-ups. And after, I believe, 3 power-ups, you change into your beast form. And that triggers the boss at this checkpoint right here. If you're not powered up to your beast form, by this point, you go to stage 2 on the same level, or the next phase of the same level, until you're fully powered up. So yeah, it plays a lot like, you know, the classic side-scrolling brawlers, again, like Black Belt on the Master System, Kung Fu Master in the arcades and stuff like that, or Kung Fu on the NES, for those of you guys that know of the home port. And it's fun. It was a pretty fun arcade game. I actually really like the arcade game of Altered Beast because it's got a much more detailed animation and so forth. It's got a lot more colors and some scaling and stuff like that you don't get in the home Genesis version. But the Genesis version is still really fun. I really like this game, and it you know, it was a launch title for the Genesis. A lot of people don't really talk about it much today. They even look at it in a negative light, but I think it's actually a solid game, especially if you play it. If you try to loop it and you go on the harder difficulty modes, it feels much more like the arcade version, which you get to hard in the hardest modes. So Altered Beast is not a long game, though. You can actually get through the game probably about 10 minutes, so this Let's Play will probably be about a half an hour long if we actually manage to loop the game multiple times, which we might not. We might only beat it once, or maybe not even beat it at all. So we'll see, like I said. So you've got a variety of different attacks in this game. You can kick by pressing B, you can punch by pressing A, and if you duck, well, I can't really show you now, if you duck and press kick, you'll sort of like kick upwards from the ground. And not really the most useful move in the game. I only use it maybe once or twice in a playthrough, if that's it, or if that. Man, I can't even talk right today. What's new? And there's going to be something else I want to go into explain in regards to attacking, which is going to be very useful if you're having trouble with this game. So this is boss 2, and our second beast form is a dragon. And you've got 2 different attacks. You can shoot straight ahead like that. I prefer using the secondary attack, which is the B button attack. It's pretty powerful. And this boss, literally, if you get in real close to him and use the secondary attack, you can kill him almost on his first pattern, usually. You can just kill the boss almost instantly. It's pretty crazy. So maybe if we get to the second loop, I'll be able to show you that. So enemy placement in this game is, enemies appear in the same spot every time you play the game. So the more you play this game, the more you'll know where enemies are going to be spawning from. And that's going to help you a lot in your attempt to complete this game. Like, I know these guys are always going to be jumping from the top there. And there's going to be some guys dropping from the top, so I'm going to just... Oops. I can't do it now. Normally what I'll do is I'll jump down here in safety, and there's going to be some dogs, again, going overhead like that. And it's the blue ones we want. Again, if you don't get powered up completely by the time the boss guy appears, he'll walk away, and you're going to have to go through the next section of the level. And the next sections of the levels are always more difficult. So you really don't want to get to the second section of each stage because they become a lot more challenging. So you want to try to get into your beast form on the first go-around. So we did, successfully. Otherwise, the game actually does become pretty difficult. So this boss right here, you want to push him in immediately, because when his head is down, he shoots straight ahead. When his head is up, he shoots from the top, and it's a lot easier to avoid that. His projectiles you can actually destroy. Oh, that's terrible. The boss really seems to be hit or miss. Like, sometimes you can just corner him and just keep jumping, and your character will literally just keep jumping inside of him, and he won't get pushed out, and you'll just kill the boss in a couple of hits. But sometimes you get screwed like that. It seems to be kind of random. I haven't figured out a way to fully control that boss 100%. So that's not good. That took a whole life away from us. You do not get extra lives in this game. So, you know. And supposedly there's a continue code in this game, but I haven't been able to get it to work. At the game over screen, you're supposed to hold A and then press start, and it doesn't work for me. I've tried it a bunch of times. So if any of you guys know how to use that code, I'm curious to know how it works. Or if I'm doing it wrong or something like that. So, you know, the point of that, though, is that I'm not going to have any continues. So I need to, you know, not lose lives, basically. So you start with 2 lives remaining, so you get 3 lives total. And enemies dish out damage pretty quickly. I mean, sometimes we get lucky, and they'll just change the color of your health blocks. You'll notice that one of my health blocks in the bottom left is yellow now. So, depending on the enemy, you can actually take multiple hits before a block disappears. But most enemies will just, you know, annihilate a block pretty much instantly. Or 2 blocks. You know, sometimes you'll get cornered. There's really no invincibility in Altered Beast, so you can actually have a full health bar, and it can be depleted almost instantly. So you've really got to be careful in this game. So for this boss, if you're going to use your vertical attack on him, you want to hit him from the side. If you hit him dead on, you're going to take damage. So you need to hit him from one of the sides. And when he's solid red like that, he's pretty much about to get killed. So he's pretty much about to die, just like so. So something I actually wanted to mention about, you know, your attacks, and this is going to come into play on the final boss, which is coming up right here. This is the final stage. Altered Beast is a very short game. There's only 5 levels in the whole game. But again, if you beat it, you loop it again, and it's much harder. So, you know, you can make it towards 10 or 15 levels, depending on your skill level. But when you punch... Oh, I got it. Whew, he almost went off the screen. So one thing that's kind of interesting, if you punch or kick while you're standing, you'll notice there's like wind-up frames. there's extra frames of animation, which actually slows your attack. However, if you duck, at least in your first and second power-up form, if you duck an attack, your punch comes out instantly. And now that I'm powered up in beast form, my punch will come out instantly now. So you notice that there's no wind-up on my punch when I'm ducking. Yet, when I stand an attack, there is a wind-up. There's an extra frame or two of animation. So that's going to make a difference here in this boss, is I can actually attack faster if I duck an attack instead of standing and attacking. And it's really important on this boss. So this boss, I go by this pattern here where I dash over him, get to the other side, duck and attack, and just rinse and repeat. I don't really need to explain it. You can kind of see what I'm doing. One of my friends told me that he just likes to sit in the corner and just duck and punch over and over and attempt to dash through when the guy starts punching, but I haven't had that working. I haven't been able to get that to work, sorry. And so I prefer to play it safe like this. The boss fight takes a lot longer. But it's not too hard to do it as long as you duck and punch. If you stand and punch, again, that's an extra frame or two of animation you're exerting, and it gives you less room to avoid the boss when he dashes back at you. You'll notice he gets like angry and like, you know, you'll notice the like the puffs over his head. And that's when he does that. That's when you want to jump and dash over. That means he's gonna dash right at you. You don't want to get close to the boss because he'll just come right at you without even stopping the huff and puff, which means that you can't really control him at that point. But by playing it like this, I can control the flow of the fight. And one other reason I want to duck and punch is sometimes like that, my attack will just go through him. See, just like that, it went through him. So that's another reason why you want to duck an attack on him. Is it never goes through him when you duck an attack. It takes less frames of animation to do the attack when you're ducking, and it always hits him. Now, he's almost dead. Probably a couple more hits and that's it. Now, I could just get reckless and just, like, you know, get close to him and pound him. But he's probably going to take some life away from me. And if I want to try to get through the second loop, you know, I need to not take any damage. Because my health bar carries over to the next loop. Meaning that, you know, that far left block on my life bar is still going to be red. Which means, I think that means one more hit and that life block gets taken away. So the whole thing I mentioned about ducking and punching is actually really important for success in this game, I think. Because kicking is longer ranged and it feels satisfying, but it's slower. So the speed of your duck punch is actually much more important than the range of your kick. See, look at how fast you can punch compared to... You can punch a lot faster than you can kicking. So it says push any key to start the next rounds. And so now you're going to notice there's going to be a lot more enemies. And the game's going to be a lot truer to the arcade version in terms of the enemy layouts. And these zombies actually even explode on the second loops now. I don't know if they actually do that on the first loops. If they do, I just never found out because I always kill them so quickly. So you got these big bulking or hulking dudes that come in. They usually don't come in till much later on the first loop. But now that we're on the second loop, things become a little more interesting. And there's going to be a blue one. Where is he? There he is. Okay, so once I get to my third power-up form, I have a tendency of ducking and attacking. Not because it's faster, but because it is actually longer range. And it is safer than just kicking. So let's get that before he walks away. Again, if you don't change into your beast form by this part of the stage, you've got to go through the second part of the stage. And it is kind of interesting to actually intentionally not power up And after a certain period of time, it actually forces you to fight the boss in your standard human form, which is kind of interesting. At least I think it does that. It did it in the, I think it did it in the Master System version for me. And I think it did it in the arcade version, so it probably does it in this version. So, this boss is much trickier now. You'll notice that he's shooting out 4 demon heads instead of, I'm sorry, he's shooting out 6 demon heads instead of 4 now. Man, I'm dyslexic. I can't even... He shoots out 4 in the first loop, 6 on the second, and he might do 8 on hardest mode. On the hardest mode, I'm not sure. But if we get there, I guess we'll find out. So, you know, pretty much there's more enemies in the game. The bosses, you know, the bosses are much more challenging. And it's definitely fun playing this game on hard and hardest. And we can just skip through that, so we've already seen it the first time through. And something else I forgot to mention is that one of the most useful moves in the game is actually the jump kick. And you don't really think about it when you first play the game, because it's like, it's not really long range, it's, you know, it's kind of weird. But the reality of the jump kick is that you're much more flexible when you attack with it. Oh, shit, we're gonna have to do the second part now. We're probably not gonna win this now. So, you're actually more flexible when you jump kick. Because when you attack, you can keep moving. Whereas when you punch, or if you kick, you're stuck where you are. So if you got enemies swarming you, you want to jump kick instead of just punching or kicking standing still. Of course, there are some enemies you can't really jump kick. Like the crawling enemies. Okay, maybe we'll do all right. We got the dragon form, so let's just kind of play it safe with our projectiles here. Yeah, there's a lot more snakes here now. And there's even more if you play it on the hardest skill mode. So, you know, Altered Beast, when I first played it back in the day, I thought it was just like a one and done kind of game. Like, you play it, you beat the first 5 levels, and then that's it. But playing it now for this Let's Play, I've sort of like injected some more life into the game, because I had no idea about the harder modes. And I'm dead. I'm gonna die. Shit. Yeah. Damn it, man. This is why you want to get up close and attack this guy, so you can kill him pretty much instantly. Yeah, this is terrible. This is probably the worst second boss fight I've ever done. That's actually really, really bad. You can almost kill him instantly. Once he opens up the first time, and you get close enough to his center, and you use your secondary attack, he just dies almost instantly. It's crazy. So you really want to try to do that, especially when you're on the harder loops. So this is going to be interesting. This is the level we had trouble with at first. Not so much the level itself, but the boss we had trouble with. Oh! Wow! Man. That's rough. I was thinking we were going to actually beat that second loop, but apparently not. And no continue. So, wow, that sucked. That was... I don't think I've ever done that before. Gotten hit and then fallen down that pit. So, Well, that's Altered Beast, guys. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the Let's Play right here. It's not going to be a long Let's Play. I was hoping to get to the 3rd loop, but I'll save that for you guys. You guys can experience that for yourself if you want to play this game. Again, if you want to jump straight to the harder modes without having to beat the game, you can just hold B and press start at the title screen. And again, you can adjust a wide variety of options and so forth to sort of fit your needs. There is supposedly a continue code. You're supposed to hold A and press start on the game over screen, but I haven't been able to get it to work. And I actually tried it there in the 2nd loop. Although the game might not let you continue in the 2nd loop. That's always a possibility too. But all the times I tried it, except for that one, I tried it on the 1st loop, so I'm not really sure what's going on. But yeah, you know, like I was saying before I got a game over, Altered Beast I always thought was just like a one-and-done kind of game, really simplistic. But I like how it gets harder and harder. When games do that, you know, kind of gives you more replay value. You know, you're not just playing the same 5 stages over and over again, because on each harder difficulty mode, the enemy patterns get more intricate. There's a lot more enemies. It becomes harder to survive, and it's fun. Another thing that I thought about trying was intentionally avoiding your power-ups and trying to fight each boss just in your human form. Like, that would be really interesting. That would be a really good challenge. Although I don't think I'd do it on the final boss. I think the final boss would probably be impossible without being able to just jump and dash over him back and forth. So, I don't know. But yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed this Let's Play. If you've played Altered Beast before, post some comments below. Let me know your thoughts on the game. Again, I have done a previous Let's Play on the Master System version of this game, so if you want to check that out, that's on my channel here as well. Maybe I'll post it in the description box below. But yeah, tell me what you think about Altered Beast. Give me some memories, or yeah. I don't even know what else to say. That was supposed to be like all amazing, like, oh, let's interact and like have conversations and whatever, and then I just have a brain fart. So, all right, guys, I'm out. Thanks for watching. If you're new to my channel, feel free to subscribe, and I'll catch you guys soon. Take it easy.